Tell me, what was the dream that took you out to sea? Can't you feel your souls crying out for meaning? Begging for a purpose because you know your life could be cut short at any moment? Stop being such cowards, soft and satisfied with the status quo. Reach out for what you want most of all. And remember, I'll always have your backs. The One Piece is ours. Tôi đây回せ地球の王国動くベストいっぱいバラバラいる宇宙晴れによって特製ジェリー玉Buggy the Cherry Bomb さくらんぼ畑で俺様探せ役所真っ赤しょでチェリーボムこれってチェリーこれってバギーあなたも混乱しっぱなし誰が友なんだごっしゃっぱらける Ladies and Gentlemen 注目度No.海賊は誰どけられた戦両どけのキャプテンバギー切れてない切れてますキレキレだぜキレキレだぜもう鼻から誰の鼻がハイカラーだキャプテンバギー悪魔系ピエロフェイスちょい屋敷こぼれた手柄はそうカパラオケチーズアプローズ県外から急上昇海賊は誰はい伝説を生きる男キャプテン
七部会に演します華々しくデビュー誰の花がでっかバラだこらキャプテンバギーインベンターマリーフォーくぐり抜かしセーファーピンチをチャンスにいつも変えちゃおけBuggy the Cherry Bomb さくらんぼ畑のお色のジョリッと野草真っ赤賞でチェリーボンあっちがチェリーこっちがバギー顔だけ飛んだ行きっぱなし誰がつっけばらだごしゃばけどれに回せ時刻のオルゴあの子ってスイーパイバラバライルージョンどれに回せ時刻のオルゴあの子ってスイーパイ爆弾イルージョンラファンスボン誰たちマンボン玉こんにゃくボンスイカドンMay shenanigans and flashery be with you. In the name of Buggy the Clown. Hold on, let me get this background music on. Oh wait, also, oh no. I lost something. Hold on. I lost something. Wow. Now, you hadeaho! Welcome one another as I shall welcome you. Happy birthday, Buggy! Oh no, the alerts are behind the thing. Let me fix that. Alerts at the top. Wow. Hi. Okay, let me catch up on some messages. My Oshi can't be this adorkable. It's the power of the clown. Thank you for joining membership, Dai Dai. Happy birthday, Buggy. Can't wait to see all the clowning around you have in store to celebrate this very important day. Already off to a very strong start. Thank you. I love that song a ridiculous amount. Like, it's just... Actually, I hate that song. To be more accurate, I despise that song. I hate it so much. I hate it with my whole heart and my whole soul. I hate it so much that I love it. It drives me insane. It gives me aggression, camp aggression. I think I told you guys before. It gives me camp aggression. Like it's too much. Hold on. Let me explain. Hold on. Okay. Oh, you're probably getting double music there. That's my bad. I'll fix that next time. We're gonna play. Okay, let me rewind this song. Hold on. Wow. Why'd he laugh? Why did he laugh in the middle of that line? Huh? Why is he laughing? Why? Why is he screaming? He's screaming again! broken. Da-na-na-na. We're just gonna listen to it again. Why not? Why is he screaming? Why are you screaming? That's for making fun of his nose. If you pay attention to the backing track in this, it goes ridiculously hard. Oh, let me switch my main mic. Dun, 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 dun. I really wanted... Oh, okay, here also... The song's called Buggy the Cherry Bomb. So this next part, I thought for sure, for the longest time, said cherries and apples. Does that not say cherries and apples? It doesn't. It says cheers and applause. Listen again. Let me show you. In the musical breakdown, I literally cannot find a version of this song that doesn't... It sounds like it's peaking to me. Maybe it's not actually peaking, but it sounds like it's peaking to me. You guys listen to it, and I literally can't find another version. So I'm pretty sure it just released like that, which is insanity to me. Why did they do this? Why did they do this? It's coming up. You're gonna hear it. And also, why does it go so hard? Why? Why did they do that? It's to symbolize the peak. Yeah, it's the peak clown behavior. Mistress Cherry Bomb. There's some backing music that I really like. It's coming up here. You guys will hear it. Dun 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 dun. Oh wait, here it goes. Dun 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 dun. Why does it do that? Dun 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 Why does it go so hard? I don't know what he's saying here. He loses me. Something. Anyways, that's Buggy the Cherry Bomb. This is the artwork for the... You can see up here. Did you guys know? Fun fact. This is my favorite picture of Buggy in the world. I love this picture. Let me explain. He's in my favorite outfit. You guys know it's the Marineford outfit, okay? He's got this incredible grumpy old man face. The cherries look photoshopped in. Why do the cherries look photoshopped in, huh? Why? Why do they look photoshopped in? I don't know, but it fills me with rage and joy. Broad. I like the shape here. I like the highlight on the bicep. I like how cute his ears look and his hairline looks nice. It's a perfect photo. I love him. The crossed out marine! I know, it's so cute. It's on the back of the jacket too. Anyways, it's this weird clown guy's birthday. Hold on. I need to catch up on stuff. I'm glad to see my two favorite clowns on stream. Thank you! Happy birthday to the one and only king of guy failures, Buggy D Clown. It was fun seeing all the art and normal reactions on the D Ruse account. My phone roo-hoo-hoo-hooed pretty much non-stop. Sorry. Got my hot dog, clown nose, and a cherry bomb. Time to party. Let's go. I hope you like the cherry bomb drink. I whipped it together like so last minute. He is a weirdo clown. Thank you for membership, Nick Mario. Mario? Mario. We're making it out of Buggy Town with this one. We're making it out of the empty bluffs with this one, folks. We're making it off the big top. Man, Buggy does sound different. Maybe because it's his birthday. Hi, I'm Buggy. I'm Buggy D Clown. This is my first time listening to this song, and it's chaotic as Runie's singing voice. Happy birthday, Buggy. I'm glad you guys can see the joy behind the song. I hope it also fills you with rage, like it does me. I just think character songs should not be allowed to exist. They're just too dangerous. If I put on Cherry Bomb and I put it on repeat, and then I listen to it for hours and hours, this is why I am the way I am.
Wow.
If you ever listen to the One Piece character songs, they're so awful. They're so wonderful. Do you like the blue colorway? I was happy because I feel like I got my hair a pretty close color. And I dressed up in the closest thing I have to a big red onesie. Bloony Blues. Or Clooney Clues? I don't know which one, but whichever one you guys like better. Today we are going to be talking about why do I feel my brain? I listened to Cherry Bomb one too many times, my brain. This is his in-universe birthday or character debut? This is his in-universe birthday. Honey, do I have to dress? Ew! No! I made myself clear. Thank you for the super. We're gonna be talking about Buggy the Clown. Since you're this blue, you're kinda also no, I'm not. No, this has nothing to do with Sakana. You guys are delusional. Stop seeing Sakana everywhere you look, okay? He doesn't care about you. The talents care about you. You think Sakana cares about you? No. Also, sorry, you're okay. Alright, fine, I forgive you. Happy birthday to the greatest clown pirate. Perhaps it was fate. My membership glitched to the 8th of the month to celebrate with my Oshi of Gen 3, Euphoria, Runie Ruse, and Perona. Ah, you have bloomed! Black rose blooming, subduing, pursuing the dark. Thank you for 6 months of membership. So, I have some things prepared. We're gonna mostly focus. I just thought it'd be fun to go through sorry, I'm gonna sit down. I thought it would be fun to go through, you know, various Buggy theories.
Wow.
Right? And then I don't know, maybe we'll get up to some other shenanigans. But let me give a disclaimer right now for anyone watching the stream right now or who may be watching the VOD. This will not be spoiler free. I will make no attempts to not spoil you. So genuinely, if you don't want to get spoiled for things that happen in the manga that have not happened in the anime yet, you know, you might want to skip this one till you catch up. Go catch up and then come back and watch this one. Obviously, I'm not going to be spoiling like every single thing that happens, but I'm going to be spoiling a lot of stuff in regards to Buggy. Are you thinking, I mean, that can't be important. Buggy? Nothing going on with Buggy is important. Warned. You're warned. And now I've already spoiled you. Alright. But thank you very much for stopping by. Anybody who chooses to wait until later, thank you for coming at least a little bit to celebrate Buggy's birthday with me. Mwah! And for the rest of you, you have been warned. My cat is being very needy again. Are we gonna see your merch, Buggy merch collection today? No. This will be a little bit different than my birthday celebration for Ritsuko. I'm not going to show you my merch. I'm sorry. Why are you this cute? Think about my emotions. Okay, I thought about them. Before we get started with the theories though, I do want to show you guys. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. This is the drink that I made. I just like randomly, I got off of work today and was like, I really need to. I don't have sus Buggy merch. Shut up. I have wholesome Buggy merch. And I have way less Buggy merch than I have of Ritsuko. I just had other things that I wanted to show you guys, okay? But this is the cherry bomb that I've made. I made it with ingredients that I already had because I made it super last minute. So this is blue curacao and gin and ginger beer. Ooh. My brain, I don't know how I'm gonna get in depth about these complicated One Piece theories when my brain is so mush right now. I'm overwhelmed. Hold on, let me take my headphones off. That will help me. Yeah. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. Gonna get Clockwork Orange with Buggy theories. Yep, exactly. So I thought I'd show you guys. Also, what's this? What could that be in this picture? That's right, that's my clown nose. You guys wanted to see it. So I have pictured it with the birthday boy and the cherry bomb drink. Isn't the standee so cute? The birthday standee this year was not as cute, I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't as cute, so I didn't buy it. This is the 2023 birthday merch, and it's adorable. He looks so cute in that, so I bought it. It doesn't spin, but you can it like hangs, so you can flick it. Should you please? All right, I say we get started. No, I don't usually flick it, but it's not on my desk. I flick the other one on my desk. You guys have seen it, the Cross Guild one, where it's just Buggy's head. I flick that one. You can hear it. Yeah, I flicked my Buggy figures. Why not? Why shouldn't I? Oh yeah, and I also have the shaker charm. I'm gonna be a Yonko! Yeah. After I beat up Shanks. I'm gonna beat up Shanks and become the next Yonko. That's my cute aggression. And he likes it. I'm not hurting him. Actually, all 3 of them from Cross Guild are in there. They're fine. They love it. Alright, are you guys ready? Ah! My bottom layer! My bloomers! Where did they go? My bloomers! Hold on. Not my bloomers! I need those. Okay. Wow. All is well again. It's a good thing that I have a spell going so you guys can't see my underwear. Invisible underwear for you. I think there is a temporary fix that you can do for chat. I'm actually doing a different fix, but there is a fix where you can get the CSS, but because I'm not doing my regular layout anyways, I just thought, okay, I'll just do this one. So if it's not as readable on screen as usual, I'm sorry. We all know it's either blue or red. No, you don't. You don't know what it is. Because you couldn't see anything. Downgrading my OBS did not help. You guys, I did everything. It was one of those things where I think it was like working sometimes for some people and not. So everybody had a different solution. They were like, oh, I logged in and it worked. I logged off and it worked. Oh, I updated OBS. I reverted my OBS to an older version. I did this, I did that. And like, I tried everything and nothing worked for me. But it just seemed like different things were working for other people, which I think means nothing was working for anybody and it was just random whether it worked or not. I know, I felt so bad for Miss Hina. I don't know why YouTube was being so mean to her. I've never had that problem, thankfully. Legs spotted. Yeah. Okay, that's enough. That's all you get. I just don't want to block the screen too much with my hat. You're welcome. Alright. Welcome to the Buggy the Clown birthday celebration. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about Buggy the Clown. He's the future pirate king, so make sure you show him some respect, okay? No haters allowed in the chat. this is a safe space for Buggy and Buggy fans. No, Buggy doesn't suck. I mean, he does kind of suck, but like, it works for him. Like, he can suck and win at the same time. Don't clown on him. I did clip the hat from the anime. Alright. This is Buggy the Clown. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about it, because I know some of you just like to listen to me and you don't even know One Piece, which is fine. I love that, actually. So I'm just gonna give you a little overview of who Buggy is, or maybe some of you haven't watched in a really long time. So Buggy the Clown starts off as an antagonist in the series, and he's one of those characters that over time becomes kind of helpful, and now he's like poised to be a major challenger in the final battle for the One Piece, which is the treasure everyone is looking for. But like, he's kind of like, he's a villain, but also sort of not anymore. But like, he could choose to be villainous at any point. We don't know what will happen. He is significant because the former Pirate King, so everyone's trying to find the One Piece, right, to become Pirate King. The former Pirate King was Goldie Roger, and Buggy was actually an apprentice on Goldie Roger's ship, right? After Goldie Roger disbanded the Roger Pirates and ended up getting executed, which happens right away, so that's not a spoiler. Buggy went on to create his own pirate crew, but, you know, he wasn't all that strong, and he definitely wasn't as impressive or didn't believe in himself as much as his companion Shanks, who was also an apprentice his same age, and they were very close to each other. It's also important to note that Buggy got sick and couldn't go to find the One Piece. So even though he was on the ship with Roger, he didn't actually find the One Piece with them because he was sick, and Shanks stayed behind with him. So neither of them have seen it. So through shenaniganry, Buggy ends up kind of by accident becoming this really well-respected figure. He quote-unquote leads a prison break. I mean, he does lead he leads a prison break, why not? And all of the prisoners kind of mistake him as like the mastermind and hero of all of that. And so he gets this like swarm of super loyal followers that he doesn't really deserve. And then it comes out, you know, that he was a former apprentice of the Roger Pirates, that he was blood brothers with Shanks, who was like a really famous pirate at this point. So the world government's like, oh my gosh, this guy's crazy. And they offer him a position as a warlord, which is what they do when they're really scared of a pirate and they kind of want to get them on their side. The deal is, hey, we'll let you be a pirate, but like sometimes you got to help us out. So he elevates himself all the way to Warlord of the Sea status, right? Or Seven Warlord status, sorry. And then through more shenaniganry, he ends up becoming the leader of Cross Guild, with two very powerful men underneath him. Now, in all reality, that's not true. He's getting kicked around. He is not the boss. He's basically just a figurehead, a puppet. But the world doesn't know that. So from the world's perspective, he's got two of the most powerful pirates like under his thumb.
Lunatics.
And so the world government now has named him an Emperor of the Sea. There are 4 emperors. There's only 4 emperors, and he's one of them, along with Luffy, the main character, Shanks, the main inspiration for the main character, who's been like a big deal the entire manga, and then who is a big major antagonist, Blackbeard. And he's up there with them. Buggy is cool and all, but Dracula Mihawk exists. I love Mihawk. Do not be fooled. I am a huge Mihawk fan. I like Buggy more because he makes me laugh more, but some people hate on Mihawk. You won't catch me hating on Mihawk. And I know one day we're gonna see him go off, and I'm really excited for that. Especially considering it's probably gonna be at the service of Buggy the Clown. Yeah, people hate Mihawk because he hasn't really done a lot in the story. We haven't really been able to see his power level. So there's a lot of just like tell not show so far, where it's just like, he's a better swordsman than Shanks, or he's the world's greatest swordsman, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of fans just think he's a fake and a fraud because he hasn't really done anything to prove that, especially hardcore Shanks fans. But I think it's just a matter of time. I think Oda's just building up to it. Counterpoint, he looks cool. Also that. We didn't really actually get that much of Mihawk in Marineford though. If you remember Marineford, Mihawk is not trying. He is really not trying that hard. And then like the second Shanks shows up, he's just like, whatever, I'm not doing this anymore. And then just stops. So we get to see him a little bit, but we don't really get to see his true power level. And I think that is also why people get a little up in arms about it, because they watch Marineford and they forget that he's not, like, his heart is not in it. This dude does not care and is not trying. He's doing the absolute bare minimum. He only gets interested when fighting Luffy, really. And it's just because of everything he's heard about Luffy from Shanks, right? And even then, he doesn't chase down Luffy all that hard. So it does make him, in comparison to someone like Shanks, seem really weak, right? And then it's like, well, why do people keep saying he's a better swordsman than Shanks? Like, Shanks is clearly stronger, but we don't really know that. I like the idea of Mihawk being a fraud more. No! We all know that eventually we'll get the epic showdown between Mihawk and Zoro, and it's gonna be insane. We've all been waiting for it for forever now. That happened really early. And when we finally get that, I mean, you know it's gonna be bigger than the King versus Zoro, so you can expect something absolutely insane. So I'm just biding my time. Eventually, the Mihawk haters will have to eat their words. Buggy's superpower is his flashiness. Everyone around him assumes the best of every one of his actions. Somehow, you know, he does amass a fan base that just... Man, they love him so much. It's copium. They are drinking copium, and it really doesn't matter what Buggy does. Whatever he does is good. Buggy was a real one. He was willing to follow Shanks to the end of the world to make him Pirate King, but Shanks wussied out and broke his heart. We're gonna talk about that. Actually, that's like one of the first things that comes up. We are gonna talk about that, so just hold that thought. Alright. So the first theory I want to talk about is Buggy's true dream. I'm starting out with this theory, and I know I've kind of told you guys about this before, but this is my pet theory. I'm very passionate about this. I feel very strongly. Okay. I do not think that Buggy's dream is actually to be Pirate King, full stop.
Runetics?
I think that Buggy's dream is to inherit Roger's will or see Roger's will inherited. The reason that I think this goes back to the flashback from chapter 1082. I've got two major points here. As you can see in this manga panel, this is Buggy recalling his memories. I could see that Shanks had so much promise ahead of him that I gave up on my dreams. In the background, you can see him looking over at Roger, who's putting the straw hat onto Shanks's head. This stands out to me because this is his memory recalling a Shanks that had so much promise. But he's not remembering a Shanks fighting or doing anything cool. He's not imagining Shanks with his sword or being like shining with any promise, like in any active way. What he's remembering is Roger putting the straw hat on Shanks's head, because to him, shine, like have so much promise, whatever. To him, to Buggy, it's to be chosen by Roger, right? I think that's where he's equating it, in my personal opinion. And I think this shows up even more when he gets mad at Shanks. So after Roger dies, Buggy's under the impression that Roger has given his will to Shanks, meaning Shanks is supposed to now find the One Piece on his own and become the next Pirate King. That's what Buggy thinks. And at this point, he's willing to follow Shanks and see it happen. He's like, fine, I'll give up on my dream to be Pirate King, to see you become Pirate King, because that is Roger's will, and I want to see his will inherited. But then Shanks tells him, I don't want to do it anymore. And Buggy not only is like bitter and hurt because he wanted to inherit Roger's will so badly, but also he just feels like Roger's will isn't being inherited. And I think that's where his dream is really crushed. He says, I thought Captain's wish was for you to follow in his footsteps. And that's when he chooses to leave. I think this wording is also really important because he doesn't get mad at Shanks like, you dreamed of being the Pirate King. Wasn't that important to you? Didn't you want this? It's not about Shanks. It's not about Shanks at all. It's about Roger. Didn't you tell Roger you were going to be the next Pirate King? Didn't he say he wanted you to follow his footsteps? So this whole disappointment and this whole argument, it's so Roger focused, because I think for Buggy, I know I'm yapping. I think for Buggy, his true dream is to see Roger's will inherited. And I think that for Shanks to tell him that he doesn't want to become the Pirate King anymore, it's not just like a slap in Buggy's face because he wanted to inherit it so bad, but it's like a slap in Captain Roger's face, who is a very, very important figure in Buggy's life, who he really, really respects. Now you may be thinking, does that really matter? Like, isn't that just kind of like semantics at the end of the day? If you really think about it, whether he wants to be the Pirate King or he wants to be the Pirate King because he wants Roger's will to be inherited, he wanted to inherit Roger's will, blah, 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 blah. I think that it's significant because I think that this opens up a path for Buggy to still accomplish his dream without becoming the Pirate King. Because if his dream is actually to see Roger's will inherited, and if he realizes at some point that Luffy can do it, then I could see Buggy actually making a turn. And I think if that happens, he could end up with all the treasure and probably the title, like the title itself to the world, as far as the world is concerned. Like, he can come out on top, right? And get like the fame and the fortune that he loves about pirating, because we know Luffy doesn't give a crap about that, without actually being the one to find the One Piece and to become the true Pirate King. So I think that can be Luffy, and Luffy can still accomplish his dream, and I think Buggy can also still have his dream accomplished, because I think what he really wants is to see Roger's will inherited. He just doesn't want Roger to die. There's a theme throughout One Piece where, you know, as long as a character inherits your will and remembers you, you never die. You know, it's Roger literally tells that to Rayleigh, like, I won't die. So when Shanks looks at Buggy and is like, I don't want to go for the One Piece anymore. I changed my mind. To Buggy, it's like he's killing Roger, which I know sounds really dramatic, but it's Buggy. He's dramatic. That's how he feels. And that's why he's been holding a grudge against Shanks for all of these years. I don't know what you're talking about. There is no desk. There is no desk. I also think that this could maybe play out in a different way as well. That I think could be fun, where Buggy has to reclaim a dream for himself, whereas instead of like being so focused on Roger and what Roger wanted, oh, Roger wanted it to be Shanks, oh, okay, actually Roger told Shanks that it had to be someone else, and now Luffy has Roger's will. I think it also opens up a way for Buggy to make to come to the conclusion, you know what, screw all of that. I want to be Pirate King for me, regardless of Roger's will or whatever he wanted or whoever he told to do whatever to do. I want to do it, I want it, and to go for it for himself, which I also think would be a really fun and compelling story. Yeah, to see him find his own dream, absolutely. So I think it could go either way. But this is my little pet theory that I wonder if we'll get to see more on, elaborated upon as the story goes. I think I get passionate about it because I see what I feel like is misinterpretation. You know, it's probably just Fujoshi's doing their Fujoshi thing, but I see a lot of people focus so much on like, oh, Buggy was brokenhearted because Shanks didn't go for it, and he believed in Shanks, and he wanted Shanks to do this, like Shanks. But it's not. It's really not about Shanks. It's not about Buggy like wanting Shanks to achieve his dream. It's about Roger. So I'm sorry all you Shuggy fans. I'm not a Shuggy hater, okay? But I don't think it's about Shanks. It's about Roger. In my opinion. Suddenly the Shuggy fan art makes so much sense. Listen, I don't have the panel on there, but when 1082 came out, there's a panel where Shanks like holds his hand out to Buggy and he's like, Buggy, come with me. Shuggy shippers destroyed. In shambles. My Twitter feed was nothing but Shuggy fan art for like a straight month. They lost their minds. I was happy for them. I was like, wow, Oda fed them so well. They've been waiting, okay? They've been waiting for like a decade and they got fed. But also, like, I think they misinterpreted it because I actually think it's about Roger and not really that much about Shanks. Though I definitely do think that this scene did show to me that they really could have stayed friends. You know, Odin says it in his flashback, like, are they enemies or are they best friends? And I think when this chapter came out, it's like, no, okay, they really were best friends, blood brothers, like very dedicated to one another, and they felt like their lives were intertwined, and this just really broke them apart, which is very sad. It is very tragic. And I'm really hoping that we can see them repair their relationship down the line. I'm sure we will. You know, when Buggy gets sick and can't go to Laugh Tale with the rest of the Roger pirates, Shanks decides to stay behind, and he tells Roger that we're gonna go on our own ship. And I think that was basically foreshadowing. I do strongly believe that Buggy and Shanks will both make it to Laugh Tale together. What are you talking about, Shanks? Buggy and Shanks interacting on Marineford was hilarious. I need more of that. It was very good. Man, I just want to slap that smug face off of Shanks. Like, why does he look so smug though? I love Shanks though. But I sympathize with Buggy's annoyance. Well, we're gonna talk more about Buggy power level and stuff later on. I can see things going either way with Buggy leveling up, or I could see him making it to the top and never really getting all that strong. We'll talk more about this later. Now, you know I love Crocodile too. That's why Cross Guild really just did me in. Because I separately really loved Buggy, really loved Mihawk, really loved Crocodile. And they just all got slapped together. And it honestly almost broke me. Ain't no way Buggy gets stronger. I think there is a way, actually. We'll see. But the thing that's interesting that kind of ties into this as well, this theory of mine, is there's this tendency where characters who stop going after their dream kind of hit a wall. So think Crocodile, who gave up on being Pirate King. Think Moria, who gave up after Kaido defeated him. These characters kind of hit walls because they've stopped chasing their true dream. Now, Buggy is interesting when you look at that, because for Buggy, he never technically stopped looking for the One Piece. When we first meet him, he's looking for a map of the Grand, which is kind of crazy because I'm like, boy, you were born and raised there. Like, what you need a map for? What do you mean you can't find a map? Like, did you not pay attention anywhere you guys went? Like, you don't know how to get into the Grand Line? Yeah, he got lost. He forgot. He was very distracted as a kid. I mean, you say he was just a kid, but it's not like he was 8. I think he was like 13, 14 when they disbanded. So like old enough to at least remember going up Reverse Mountain, you would think. Or maybe he never left the Grand Line. I guess it is kind of vague. Anyways, he's looking for the map of the Grand Line so that he can go and find the One Piece. Like, so he's still like, at least what he's saying is he's still trying to go. And I think that's why in the end he does end up being successful. I think it could be other things too that we'll talk about later, but I think that might play into part of why he doesn't hit the wall like other characters do, despite being way weaker than them and probably stupider than them, though he's not as stupid as you might think. Because he really didn't stop going after his dream. Some even say it's blue copium with cherry in it. Yeah, that's the drink that I made. The cherry bomb is blue copium with the cherry in it. Zoro's design is going to be lopsided as heck when he beats Mihawk and replaces one of his broken swords with Yoru. Stop! There's no way he takes Yoru. That would be so crazy. I mean, maybe he does. I don't think he takes Yoru though. I think he turns his own, any sword that's not already a black blade, I think he turns into a black blade. The Wada Ichimonji, I think is what it's called. I think he'll turn it into a black blade. Buggy just had creator favoritism? I think it's the other way around. Oda has said that Buggy is his favorite villain, but I think he's his favorite villain for very specific reasons and plans that he has for him. You know what I mean? I don't think it's as simple as like, oh, this one makes me laugh, so I'm not gonna have anything bad happen to him. Though I'm sure it plays into it a little bit while planning out the story. But there's a lot of signs that he had plans for Buggy from the very start. And we'll talk about those a little bit later. I need to grab something. So, I will be right back. Sorry. I forgot my notes. I forgot my notes. I had to go off script for this one. I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. So let's move to theory 2. Buggy D Clown, boy. You guys probably hear me call him Buggy D Clown a lot. This is this is just a theory. This has not been confirmed as of yet. But there's a lot of reasons that people think that he's a D, okay? This isn't just because it would be funny. So is Buggy a D?
Wow.
This is why people think that Buggy is a D. So we know that the members of the D clan are highly tied up with fate, right? And I think that theming clearly fits in with Buggy. The circumstances of his rise to fame and power are so wild. He just gets so extraordinarily lucky over and over again that it does seem like fate favors him or has a plan for him. Yeah, I forget that he's not confirmed sometimes either, just because everybody says it, but he hasn't been confirmed to be a D. So that's a big reason that people think that he is a D. I mean, the failing upwards makes so much more sense if he's a member of the D clan. Like, he just never had a choice. Like, he was always gonna be a winner. He was born a winner, you know? I know we do like to interject D's into everybody's name. You know, Mihawk D. Racule. Croco D. Isle. I'm guilty. But Buggy the Clown, Buggy D. Clown really does make sense to me. Another reason that people think that he's probably a D is because he is parallel to Shanks in a lot of ways. You've got red versus blue, North Pole versus South Pole, Celestial Dragon versus member of the D clan. The D clan are the enemies of the gods, and we now know that Shanks was descended from a Celestial Dragon, meaning the opposite of that would be a member of the D clan. So just thematically, it would be very appropriate to find out that Buggy is a D, considering the way he foils Shanks. Goblin what? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Wait, why is this making sense? Because oh, we've only just begun. We have so much more to say. Who's your fraud agenda in One Piece? I don't know what you're talking about. I need a little bit of clarification. I'm sorry. Might be a theory I've not heard of, or like, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Now, I think this one is kind of silly, but as you can see, way back in one of the early volumes, Oda drew the 4 Yonko before they were the 4 Yonko. At this point in time, only Shanks was a Yonko. And this is why a lot of people think that he had these plans for Buggy for a very long time. Because it would be a whole bunch of chapters later before Buggy becomes a Yonko. And so you can see he drew a mirror of, or he redrew that now that they're all Yonko for this later volume. Goda foreshadowing, exactly. But the way that this ties into being a D, and I don't know, I think this one's a little bit silly, but do you notice that only one person has their mouth closed between the 4 Yonko, and that's Shanks? The idea here is that the other 3 have their open mouths, they're smiling. A smile kind of looks like the shape of a D on it, like on its turn around. And also just like the idea of being like eaters of the gods, you know, stuff like that. So, exactly. So a lot of people think that this is our hint because we know that Blackbeard is a D. We know that Luffy is a D. Well, if Buggy is also a D, then it kind of ties him in with their imagery. I think this could just be a coincidence, but it is a theory that people bring up. There's going to be a lot of stuff in this stream that I'm like, yeah, people say this. I'm not so sure. I'm sold, but I'm going to tell you about it just because I've heard about it. I think a much more compelling reason for Buggy to be a D is because it would be funny. If something is so ridiculous and unexpected and hilarious, it's relatively likely that it might happen. A lot of the things that happen in One Piece are just like, what the heck? I still have moments where I remember Cross Guild happened, and I just feel so, how did that? What the heck? What the heck? And that's why I think that's a more compelling argument than the cover mouths being open. It would just be funny. It would be so incredibly funny. Wow. And that's a huge reason why I genuinely think that it's going to happen. All of the D's we know so far are male, so that's not true. I don't know if you're not caught up or if you just forgot. But we do know that Vivi was a D. We do know that Lily was a D. We do know that Law's younger sister was a D. We do know that Rouge was a D. So there has been female Ds at some point. And we have a current alive Vivi is a D. And yeah, and then there's Runie D. Bruise. Duh. It was an innuendo? All of the Ds we know so far are male, so... So, wait, are you saying... What are you saying? Are you saying that Vivi has a wee woo? Is that what you're trying to say to me right now? There's no way. There's no way. My B, who do you think is a fraud despite their reputation? Like Mihawk, Shanks, Akainu, Emu, Dragon. Personally, Blackbeard is a bum. I think the fraud is Rocks, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But I think everything we know about Rocks is a lie, and that Rocks was a fraud. And this ties into the next theory after this. All right. Another thing to consider with why Buggy would be a D is, why was Buggy on Roger's crew? We know for a fact that Roger doesn't just let kids on his crew. And I think that Oda very specifically wanted to tell us that, because we see in the Roger flashback that Pedro asks to be a part of the crew, and Roger's like, no, you're still a kid. It basically rejects him because he's a child, right? But then he actively has 2 children on his crew. So it felt weird to me when I watched that scene, because I was like, what's going on here? Like, why is Oda showing us this if it's in direct contradiction to the 2 kids that he has on his crew right now? Well, we know now how he found Shanks. He kind of ended up with Shanks after the God Valley incident. And Shanks was a celestial dragon. There's probably still some context that we don't have yet that's yet to be revealed. But it seems basically he had to keep Shanks safe, or had some sort of plan for Shanks because maybe he was useful in some way as a celestial dragon, and so they kept Shanks. But why did they keep Buggy? Pedro just didn't pass the vibe check. Don't do this to my poor boy. Not another kid or I'll jump overboard. They didn't actually invite Frankie. Odin invited Frankie, and Odin does not have the authority to let people on that ship, okay? I don't know what he thought he was doing. Odin was just a crazy person. But I'm #1 Odin hater, so... I just think that it's very likely, to me, that there is a specific reason that Buggy was on the crew and allowed to stay on the crew. I also think it's very likely that Buggy joined the crew probably around the same time that Shanks did. Now this might be a little bit of a reach, but the reason I say that is because there's a panel where Roger and Rayleigh are holding up Toki and not Toki, Toki's kids. You guys know, the babies. Odin and Toki's babies. And he's like, oh, babies, it's been so long, it's nostalgic. Which gives me the impression that he had babies, like 2 babies on the ship before. So I do think that both Shanks and Buggy were babies on the ship at some point. But Shanks wasn't a baby when Roger opened the chest. Yeah, he was. He was 1 year old. We know this through the timeline. So Shanks would have been 1 year old when God Valley happened. So, unless I consider that still a baby. You feel free to double check me because I'm not actually an encyclopedia. Sometimes I am wrong, so feel free to double check me. But I am pretty sure he was 1 year old. So yeah. I think that hints that there's just something significant about Buggy. And something else that we know, wow, used to happen in the past at least, is that D's used to be pretty brutally hunted down. So it's possible that if Roger knew that Buggy was a D and his family was dead or something like that, might have taken him in order to protect him. There's some really fun theories revolving around Garp that I won't get into in this like hunt for the D clan. Maybe we can talk about that another day. There's another reason that we'll get into next that I think kind of ties into this. But the last thing I'm going to talk about, evidence for Buggy being a D at large, is that he attracts followers. He attracts people to him very much the same way that Luffy can or that Blackbeard can. Like, he was able to build a crew and inspire people. And we see even in the most recent chapters, like, he just knows the right things to say to get people pumped up and to make them believe in him. And I think that's a very D trait. Like me, I wish. Yeah, a natural magnetism. It's funny that you say that, because there's a whole theory about magnets and Lodestar Island and Buggy, too. I don't know if we'll get into that today. Go D, Usopp is canon. I don't think Usopp is a D, but I do think he's a god. God Usopp. Feel free to double check me and prove that you're wrong. But no, that's not what I meant. Let's go to this next. Because here's the thing. If Buggy is a D, then where did he get his D from? The D had to come from somewhere. And that's where the Rocks D Buggy theory comes in. I'm gonna tell you guys up front, I'm so on board with this. I really think it's Rocksteady Buggy. You guys. Maybe he was born with it. Maybe it's Rocksteady Buggy. Alright. You guys are confusing me because I'm so One Piece brained and you keep making dirty jokes in my chat and then I read the dirty joke and my brain goes before I realize that it's a dirty joke. I need you guys to focus. We're talking about One Piece here. A D-erty joke. No! Yeah, lock in, chat. Lock in. Because this is a pretty big one. Alright. By the end of this section of the PowerPoint, I do believe I will have convinced you that Buggy is Rocksteady Buggy. I believe this theory. Like, the more I heard people talk about it, the more I looked into it, I was convinced. It seemed, when I first heard it, I was like, there's no way. I feel bad, I'm like covering Rox's face. Hold on. I'm sorry. I can't do this to Buggy's father. Okay, I'll move there. Okay, so I have a lot of points for this. We're just gonna go through them one by one. Point number 1. Why is Rox still hidden from us? It's very clear that there's something about Rox's demeanor or personality or looks that would be a giveaway to some piece of information that Oda doesn't want us to have yet. We literally went to God Valley. We literally see all of the other Rox pirates, but we still have not seen Rox. He's being kept secret for us for some reason. It's not just like playing games. There's some reason Oda doesn't want us to see it yet. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that he's Buggy's father, because there could be other reasons that he's being hidden from us. But it does support the Rocksteady Buggy theory, because if he is Buggy's father, it could be possible that when we meet him, he either has a similar hair color, or my guess more is that he's gonna have a very similar demeanor to Buggy that would give the connection away. The nose probably comes from the mom. That's just kind of how it works in One Piece. Like Usopp got his nose from his mama. Or I don't know, maybe he was just born like that. The nose is natural? Yes, that is his real nose. Oh my gosh, you didn't know that? Yeah, that is Buggy's real nose. He is not wearing a clown nose. That's his real nose. Yeah, it's his actual nose. There's a whole theory about his nose. You know what? I'll tell you guys the theory. Why not? I'll tell you it, because I can tie it into this. So that's point number 1. It's possible that something about Rox is being hidden from us because it might give away that he has relations to Buggy. Next is that they both are pirates who have assembled really strong pirate crews. So when we talk about the Rox pirates, it's not your proper pirate crew by any means. The Rox pirates is just a grouping of really strong pirates who kind of all have their own agenda, and it's kind of rocky to begin with, and they all come together under Rox to do missions, right? Well, Buggy has done something very similar with Crossguild. He's got Crocodile and Mihawk. He basically took 2 of the strongest pirates and was like, I mean, it really wasn't his idea, but from the government's perspective, that's how he sees it. So there's a similarity there between the way that the Rox pirates are put together and the way that Crossguild is put together. And there's also a theory that Crossguild will get bigger. I should have put the panel up there, but when you see, there's a panel or a set of panels on the manga page where they're at Roger's funeral, and you literally see Crocodile, Mihawk, Buggy all beside each other, but you also see Doflamingo and Moria all in a row. And so a lot of people think that Dofi and Moria will both end up joining Cross Guild at some point. I can also see that genuinely happening. We know that Doflamingo has some beef with Crocodile. And we also know that Mihawk has connections to Perona, and Perona is with Moria right now because Kobe helped them escape from Blackbeard's imprisonment. You see where I'm going with this? So I do think that Buggy's crew could end up getting even bigger, but it's not going to be a proper crew in the sense of like the Straw Hats. It's going to be more like a Rocks Pirates crew. They're all going to be working together because their agendas somewhat align, but they're still all doing their own thing. Yeah, kind of like a pseudo Rocks crew. The voices aren't taking over. Isn't Moria not among the living anymore? No, it was revealed that Moria was alive. He was kidnapped by Blackbeard and was being held captive on Hachinosu, or Fululed Pirate Island, whatever you want to call it. When Perona goes there to save him, she lets Kobe out of his cell only if he agrees to let Moria out. So we haven't actually seen this happen, but we can assume that Moria and Perona have escaped. I don't know if they're still on Hachinosu or where they are, but you can assume that they're together doing something. It just would not surprise me if he ends up also joining Cross Guild. Dofi would totally join to be a part of the shenanigans and pursue his own agenda. I can see both of them joining. Your hair color reminds me of Miku. Thank you. Wow, I'm Miku now. I wish I could do the Miku voice. I can't. It's your fault for being cute. I don't know. I'm a very fierce clown pirate. Show me some respect, huh? There are many theories as to where Buggy may have gotten the D, or that big red nose of his. Unfortunately, no one really knows the truth. Get out of here. Tomato, 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 tomato. Ah, no, wait, don't put tomatoes in the chat. Don't do it. If you do it, delete your message. Buggy hates tomatoes. So we can't throw tomatoes. Buggy hates tomatoes. We can't do this. It's sacrilege. Not on Buggy's birthday. Wow. I respect how cute you are. I suppose that is acceptable. Hi, baby. Can you leave Mama alone? How about we leave Mama alone? Alright. The next thing about this is that Rox's crew kind of didn't respect him. They talk smack about him. You've got the panel of Whitebeard. I just know that full Rox will lose sight of the goal. There's kind of this impression that I get that even though they're allied under Rox, they're not like ride or die for Rox. You know? I can't keep up with the chat today. You guys keep just saying things that I don't understand. Why? What do you mean we're talking about Chopper? We're not. Who's just a little guy? I think Rox was chaotic evil. I think that you have fallen for the ruse, my friend. I think you've fallen for the ruse. So the theory here basically is that Rox is actually very similar to Buggy. He was able to get these powerful pirates to work together, but he's actually kind of a joke himself. He's a fool, like Whitebeard says. He's a joke. And it's very similar to how Mihawk and Crocodile feel about Buggy. It's convenient for them to be under Buggy right now. They kind of need him so that they can use all of the assets and the crew that he commands, but they don't really respect him, right? Suddenly I think I believe you. This really does have legs. It truly does. So I think in that case, it could be, again, that Buggy is mirroring the behavior of his father before him. And just in general, we know that the world government lies. The perspective of pirates that the world government gives to the rest of the world is wrong. The way they portray Roger is wrong. The way they portray Luffy is kind of wrong. I mean, Luffy's a little crazy, but he's not as vicious as the world government would have you believe. And I think the same thing is happening with Rox. They portrayed Rox like this mastermind, this controller of the most powerful pirates, so extraordinarily dangerous, wanted to be king of the world. I think he was a clown. Maybe not an actual clown like Buggy is a clown, but I would not be surprised if the absolute opposite is what is actually the truth. And that he's more like Buggy, in the sense that he just kind of failed upward, right? I also think that this makes sense because we know that Luffy and Buggy are both now rivals for the role of Pirate King. If you look at pretty much any poll that people have put up online saying, who do you think is going to be the next Pirate King? It comes down to Luffy or Buggy. Most people say Luffy, the second most people say Buggy, and then everybody else gets barely any votes. It really does come down to Luffy or Buggy. People either think Luffy or Buggy are going to be the Pirate King. I definitely see them being set up as rivals, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later because there's a lot of evidence for that too, of them being set up against each other from the very start. So many Runie alts voting no! So whose wills did they inherit, right? If Buggy finds out that his father was Rox D. Sebek, and then he inherits his father's will, then he's carrying on the will of Rox, and Luffy is carrying on the will of Roger. So it's Roger versus Rox again in the future. It's the Roger and the Rox of the here and now. So it just makes sense. Like, that would be really nice and poetic and thematic, right? I also think that this is possible because it gives him a connection to Blackbeard. As of right now, we have a lot of connections between all of the other Yonko. Luffy Luffy and Blackbeard, they have some beef, okay? Blackbeard tried to kill him way back around Skypiea. Blackbeard did a lot of things to get his brother Ace killed. So Luffy and Blackbeard have beef. We also know that Blackbeard and Shanks have beef because it's highly implicated that Blackbeard is who gave Shanks his scars, and Shanks is very concerned about Blackbeard, right? So you know that they've got beef. Buggy and Shanks have beef. We've already talked about this. Luffy and Shanks don't really have beef, but they have a relationship. I think they are gonna have beef when Luffy realizes Shanks is not actually trying to be the Pirate King, but is setting it up for Luffy, which isn't confirmed, but I feel like it's pretty obvious at this point. I'll be surprised if that's not the case. So, and you had beef for dinner. Everybody has beef. So all of the Yonko are kind of tied to each other, and Luffy and Buggy as well. But there's no connection really between Buggy and Blackbeard. They just, like, there aren't really any lines between them. However, we know that Blackbeard has some sort of fascination or connection to Rox because he did name his ship after Rocks, right? So, if it comes out that Buggy is actually Rocks' heir and would technically be the one to inherit his will and follow in his footsteps, I think Blackbeard would be pissed. He would either be pissed or he would be happy. We don't know all the details yet, so it's hard to confirm. But it would just give this connection between Buggy and Blackbeard that I think would really enrich this final saga, as those are our 4 candidates for Pirate King. I mean, I guess now we technically have some other candidates, but I think we all know it's gonna come down to one of those 4, right? What about Shanks' brother? That's not been confirmed. I have to wonder if Shanks will test Luffy's resolve for his pirate dream. I think he might try, but it's gonna end up being the other way around. Luffy's gonna be so pissed if he finds out that Shanks gave up on his dream just to set it up for him. He's not gonna like that. He's not gonna respect it. It's gonna disgust him. So I think if Shanks tries to pull something like that, it's gonna get turned around on him. And I think Shanks is gonna be the one who ends up having his resolve tested. If that really is the case, I think Luffy should whoop his butt. So, that's another reason that I think the Rocks D Buggy makes sense. Let's see, what else do I have here? There's also his connections to Hachinosu. So we know that Buggy from very early on in the series has been searching for Captain John's treasure. And it has been revealed that Captain John, who you can see in this panel here, glug glug glugging, he was a member of the Rocks Pirates. Now, his treasure apparently was hidden on an island that looked like a skull shape. We see Buggy going to a skull-shaped island, looking for the treasure, but it was the wrong island. And that's actually how he ended up arrested and put an impel down. But you want to know what island he hasn't gone to yet? That does, in fact, also have a skull shape on it? Hachinosu, Pirate Island, full of lead. And that's also Blackbeard's headquarters right now. And it's also the former Rocks Pirates Island, right? So Buggy has been tied to his father's island from the very start, right? It would just make sense. What else? Okay, the Lodestar stuff. Okay, I'll tell you, okay. I wasn't actually gonna get into it, but since people were bringing it up, there's also, I've seen people bring up this theory that Buggy was born on Lodestar Island. So if you guys don't remember, Lodestar Island is what people thought was the last island. And when Roger and crew got to Lodestar, they realized that it wasn't. It's a ruse. It was not the last island. There's one more island that they need to find. They need to find the poneglyphs. You know how it goes from there. So basically, it's a fraudulent island. It's a ruse-end island. You see where I'm going here? People feel like that ties in kind of with Buggy's theming. Like the current island where he's stationed, Empty Bluffs. Get it? Because Buggy is full of empty bluffs, right? So a lot of people think it's possible that Buggy is actually from Lodestar Island. And if that is the case, well, guess what? God Valley happened a year after Buggy would have been born. When Roger shows up at God Valley, he says to Rocks, "It's been a year since I've seen you." What was Roger doing exactly a year before God Valley? Discovering Lodestar. Which means that means Rocks was also on Lodestar Island. So if Buggy is a resident of Lodestar Island, Rocks would have been there when he was born. Roger got invited to the Rocks baby shower. That's exactly what we're discussing. We do not know how Buggy ended up on the Pirate King ship. Now I'm gonna give you guys my full I'm gonna give you guys my full perception of what happened. I think Buggy is Rox's kid. I think that Rox and Roger, I think Rox and Roger had some beef on Lodestar Island. And during that altercation, Roger sees that Rox has a baby. Probably because his wife is like having a baby at the time, or very recently had a baby. So Roger knows that Rox has a baby, right? Maybe he even remembers this baby because it's got a weird red nose. A year later, Rox goes to God Valley because the government has stolen something from him. Oh, here's another connection. Rox is all about treasure. He literally wages war on God Island because they stole his treasure from him, right? The government took something from him. That feels very Buggy coded to me because you know Buggy is all about his treasure. So Rox goes there. We don't know exactly what happened at God Island yet, but we know that something crazy goes down, right? I think that Rox either gets captured or killed in this. And I do think that Buggy was with him. And I think that Roger and Garp both see this baby. And I think Roger's like, I have to take this baby because the government, I mean, he's Rox's kid, so the government will hunt down and kill this baby. And so I can't just leave this baby. And I think Garp sees this and is like, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. Basically is like, I didn't see anything. I don't know there's a baby. And goes on. Because Garp also is not the type who wants to see. Garp also doesn't believe in a kid inherits the sins of the father. And basically lets Roger save this kid, right? And then Roger gets to the ship. Lo and behold, there's another baby in the chest. And I think that's how both the Celestial Dragon and the son of Rox ends up on his ship, which I think is pretty fitting considering those are both his enemies. Rox was an enemy and the Celestial Dragons are an enemy of Roger, and he ends up with two of their spawn being raised to inherit his own will on his ship. And then I think that is why when Roger goes to Garp and is like, hey, I want you to take care of Ace, and Garp is like, I'm not doing that, and Roger's like, oh, I know for a fact that you will. He's able to have that conviction because he's seen Garp once before not have it in him to see a child hunted down and murdered because of something that the parent did. That's why he's so confident that he can entrust his son to Garp, because he knows where Garp stands on that issue. And that is my theory for Roxy Buggy. Yeah, it comes full circle. If Oda didn't plan that, I hope he's writing it down. Yes, Oda! Do what I want. Why didn't Roger hand Shanks and Buggy to Garp too? I think that Garp at that point wouldn't have been able to take care of them. He was still very young, and I don't think he had risen up in the ranks yet. I think it would have been a lot harder for him to keep under wraps a celestial dragon child as well as the son of Roxy Zobek. I think it would have been a lot more dangerous. They were probably much more safe with Roger, but it could also just come down to Roger just being the one that's like, I'm gonna take them, you know? We gotta wait for Film Blue. The only reason Roger gave Garp Ace is because he has no choice. No, I think you're wrong there. Roger specifically, I mean, Roger knows he's gonna die, right? Roger gets Rouge pregnant. He knows from the start that he'll be dead before Ace is born. But he does this because he knows that he can that he can trust Garp to do it. So he literally he tells Garp, I'm having this baby. You're gonna take care of them. You know, we've almost killed each other so many times. I can trust you just as much as I trust my crewmates. And I know you'll take care of my kid. So it's really not a situation where Roger's like, I don't know what else to do or who else to ask. This is my only hope. Like, he literally conceived that child with this plan in mind. Which actually is kind of messed up. I'm not a huge Roger fan. I don't think it's... I don't think... it's cool to like have a baby that you know is gonna be hunted down forever and then also name him after your sword. Kind of messed up. He has no choice, can't give it to that drunkard Rayleigh. Okay, now, so you're just goofing. You're just goofing with me right now. I see how it is. We almost killed each other. I trust you with my child. It's a One Piece thing, man. While all the plebs are beefing with each other, Buggy the true pirate king just exists. Worse still, BB liked that cherry pie. Unforgivable. I can't believe he liked that cherry pie that Luffy found disgusting. And so rarely does Luffy complain about food. It really doesn't happen all that often. We know for sure that there are a lot of D's that make the Straw Hat crew weak. Luffy, Monkey D Carp, Zoro, down D stairs, Sanji, double D women, Nami, Dax D form, Usopp class D cataracts. Why are you doing this to me? I will be a Jedi. I mean a pirate captain, like my father before me. Yeah. No, really, for sure. Yeah. So, I personally... I kind of want this to happen. I think it would be really fun. And I'm definitely down for that. I also think that could be why Whitebeard has an interest in Buggy. As we know, Shanks goes to meet Whitebeard, and one of the first thing Whitebeard says is like, "Hey, where's your clown friend? Like, is he still kicking? Is he still around?" I think that interest that Whitebeard has in him could come from the fact that maybe Whitebeard knows that he was Rox's kid, and that's why he has interest, you know? Perhaps the D stands for Darth. Vader D Arth. Vader D Arth. Darth Buggy. So yeah, I think that's all. Oh wait, there's one more thing I wanted to tell you guys, just because you brought it up. So another reason that I've seen that people think could be a result of Buggy being from Lodestar Island is because Lodestar, named after Lodestone, like that's magnetic and it's like a compass. And so the theory is that maybe people from there like have an like inherent magnetism, and that maybe when Buggy was taken off of Lodestar, it all rushed to his nose, and like his blood like rushed and like engorged his nose, and his nose is actually working as a magnet to point towards Laughtail, right? And that's why he keeps failing upwards, because he's literally a magnet. I don't believe this. This is not a theory that I subscribe to, but this is something that I have heard people say. That's true though. It does sound dumb enough that maybe. I don't know, maybe. It's so ridiculous. But it also makes me sad, because then it makes me feel like, oh, well then Roger kept Buggy around because he was basically a magnet. Oh, and that maybe that's also why he got sick and couldn't go to the final island, the true final island, because of this like condition that he has from being born on Lodestar. But it just makes... I already kind of have some beef with Roger. I don't want to have more beef with Roger right now. I don't want it to turn out that he just kept Buggy around because he was a compass. So I don't know. I don't personally think that's true, but it's interesting. It's fun to think about, certainly. But this is not our only candidate. This is not our only candidate. There's more D's out here than rocks. Which leads us to Nefertari D. Buggy. So basically, a lot of this just comes down to they look alike. Especially, Vivi wears her hair in a very similar fashion, especially at the start. They have the same color hair. Yeah, a lot of it genuinely started from the hair, right? But as we've learned more things, and when I say that, like, there's been theories that they were related for a very, very long time before we even knew that Vivi was a D. But now that we know that Vivi is a D, it has become even more, you know, maybe this is a thing. Now, you guys already know I think he's a Rox, but I'm gonna go through the basics of why people think he might be a Nefertari. So, we can trace the line of Vivi's family, you know, her mother, Cobra. But if you remember, the person who took over Alabasta and has been ruling in like his line, his lineage, was actually Lili's brother. And Lili herself, Nefertari D. Lili, who was around, you know, 800 years ago, she disappeared. Which does mean that technically there could be a whole other line of Nefertaris out there that have nothing to do with Alabasta, because we don't know where Lili went. We don't know what she got up to. A lot of people think she founded Amazon Lily. We don't know. Maybe she went to Lodestar. Nobody knows what she did. So it's just possible that there are characters who are also Nefertaris that we wouldn't expect because they're not associated with Alabasta. But it's because Lili, we just don't know what Lili did. Uruka has buccaneer, she has kuma ears. Okay, funnily enough, the bear ears are not a racial trait from being a buccaneer. The bear ears actually aren't even bear ears, those are cowlicks. Oda has clarified that Kuma simply has cowlicks that happen to look like bear ears, but it has nothing to do with the buccaneers. So I'm sorry, Uruka, you can't be a buccaneer. Yep, that's why. Oda W2. This is his agenda, man. If there's a stupid reason, he'll do it. Let a woman dream. Now I got these next few sections from a YouTube channel called Dawn and Dusk. That you guys can check out. Native Japanese speakers, so they look into the way things are written in Japanese and kind of expound upon them, things that people who don't speak Japanese and are only reading the English translation might not pick up on. So that's where this theory comes from. But basically what they noticed is that sometimes Buggy's followers call him Nama Buggy. Nama Buggy is a way in Japanese to kind of say the real thing, like the real Buggy. So they're basically saying like the real Buggy, Nama Buggy, Nama Buggy. But then in this panel that you can see over here, one of the followers messes up this name because it sounds Dawn and Dusk. Yeah, that's what I said, Dawn and Dusk. Because it sounds similar and actually says Namamugi instead of Nama Buggy Namamugi Sama, which would translate to raw wheat lord. Now this at first when I saw it, I just thought it was like a joke. It's just a joke. And then Buggy's like, who are you calling a raw wheat lord, you know, right? It didn't seem anything significant to me, but what Dawn and Dusk pointed out is that there was a Egyptian god associated with wheat, and that was Osiris. Osiris also happens to be a god that was chopped up into several pieces, and Alabasta is associated with Egypt. So the idea here is that this Wheat Lord line was actually a hint. I'm not saying I believe this. You guys already know. I subscribe to Roxy Buggy. I'm just telling you what other people have said, okay? I'm just telling you what other people have said. So some people think that it's possible that that was a hint that Buggy actually does have connections to the Nefertaris. And if you think it sounds really crazy, I don't think it's true. It does seem like a little bit of a stretch to me, but Oda does love to look at myth and folklore and history and weave them into his stories. So it actually would not surprise me at all if this Wheat Lord joke was actually meant to like reference the Egyptian god that got chopped up into a bunch of pieces, because he does stuff like that. But I don't know if I believe it really means that he's a Nefertari, but it's an interesting theory. Goda coded to the core. Another thing that's interesting about that is that the person who chopped up Osiris was Set, who apparently was a god of like sands. So I guess it could like parallel Crocodile beating the heck out of Buggy every day until he literally wanted to die. So I don't know. That's kind of what's going on there. The other interesting thing that ties in with this is that some people think that Lily was the former user of the chop fruit. And this kind of gets into something that we're going to talk about later. There's a pretty popular theory that once Buggy awakens his chop fruit, he'll be able to chop other objects. And this kind of tracks with other paramecia types that we've seen awaken. Basically, when a paramecia type awakens, any effect that they were able to take upon themselves, they're now able to affect the outside world with, or other things with. And so Buggy can chop up himself regularly if he were to awaken his devil fruit power. The theory is that he would be able to chop up other things, which would absolutely be busted. However, I don't know if you're caught up on the manga, but after the reveals about what Bonnie's power is, I really think anything is possible. I don't think there is a power that's too busted for Oda to give to somebody. So I can absolutely see this being the case, that Buggy awakens his fruit and he's able to chop other things. And the reason people tie this to Luffy, or tie this to Lily, is because we know that Lily separated or distributed the poneglyphs, right? But we also know from some things that other people have said, specifically Robin, that the poneglyphs actually probably were one big stone at some point that got broken up into smaller stones and then separated. A big stone that got chopped up and then separated. So the theory is that Lily had the chop fruit awakened and used that fruit to chop up the poneglyphs, and then once Buggy chops things, he can move them around. So she chops up the poneglyphs and sends them in order to hide them from Imu. So that's kind of the theory there. I think that Lily is too tied to Vivi. In my opinion, I doubt that she has any devil fruit at all. I think because Vivi doesn't have a devil fruit, it's more likely that Lily also didn't have a devil fruit. But it's interesting. It's an interesting thing to think about. It's also, I was thinking about it. It also could work though, because we do know that Imu thinks that Lily made a mistake. He refers to this separation of the poneglyphs as a mistake. In that case, Lily could say I didn't know I could do that. I awakened my devil fruit and I just did something crazy. I didn't even know I was capable of doing that, you know? I could see that being kind of an out of like, oh, it was an accident. I awakened my devil fruit, you know? And maybe that's why Imu all this time has never really been sure whether it was intentional or not. Also, there's this really cute art of Vivi as a pirate, and she wears the same kind of hat that Buggy wears. And not a lot of people wear this hat. No other main characters that I can think of wear this style hat. I'm just saying. Down to the polka dots on the bandana and the striped shirt. I think it is official art. I think it is. Is it not? I'm pretty sure it is. And the jacket off the shoulders. I mean, it's literally Buggy's outfit. Plus, she does have like the feather boa coming out, which he doesn't have. I've always thought this was official art, but now I'm doubting myself. Is this not official art? Ah! Yu-san, arigato! Welcome! We're talking about Buggy! Buggy-sama! From One Piece. It's his birthday. Tanjoubi omedetou! Buggy-sama! Buggy is my favorite character from One Piece. And it's his birthday. I forget where this art is from, but yeah. I'm pretty sure this is official art of Vivi, and it is interesting to me that her outfit is basically Buggy's outfit. All I'm saying. I still think, as you guys know, I'm still on board more so with Buggy being a Rocks. But this is another theory. Oh, it's a scene from Igaram's Nightmare. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. So cute. I really wish Vivi could have been a pirate, man. This is deviating from Buggy talk, so I'll keep it short. But when I found out that Vivi was a D, it gave me a lot of mixed feelings. Because I just feel like she had to give up on part of her dream. Like, she wanted to go and be a pirate with them, but she had to stay behind for her people. And I guess that's what her deed tells her to do. You know, that's the fate that the D is leading her to. But it just doesn't feel fair when you look at someone like Luffy, who's just, so his fate just leads him to get to follow his dream. I know that a lot of people who have the D initial, like, bad things happen to them. I'm not saying like bad things don't happen to Ds. I'm just saying it feels like all the other Ds get to live their dream. Like Ace got to pursue his dream. Luffy gets to pursue his dream. Blackbeard gets to pursue his dream. So like, why did Vivi get cut out? Like, why Vivi? It just sucks. I don't know. I just hope she can actually get to be a pirate one day. I guess fate isn't fair would be a fair thing to say. But I just think if I was Vivi, I would be a little bitter. If I found out I was a D, I think I'd be a little bitter. Then why can't I follow my dream, huh? Yeah, maybe he couldn't keep Vivi on the ship with Nami. It just would have been too much. They're both just too good together. Vivi needed to join the Straw Hats so she could be Luffy's pirate queen and then meet her distantly related cousin Buggy. You never know. I actually, like I told you guys, I don't care what you guys say. I actually think Vivi and Luffy make a lot of sense together. If I get to choose, I'd rather Luffy be single and not do the whole get married, have kids thing at the end of the story. I'd be perfectly happy with him just doing his thing, and that's what I would prefer. But when I sat down and started thinking about it and all the princesses that he might end up with, I genuinely think Vivi is the best fit personality-wise. I just think they get along the best. Luffy just doesn't care about Boa is the thing. I just don't think Luffy's ever gonna be able to return Boa's affections in the way she's gonna want. There's always gonna be a little bit of like longing and dissatisfaction there. And I don't think Luffy really likes Shirahoshi, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think he's like chill with Shirahoshi, but it's not like he gets along. It's not like they're having fun together. Rebecca's a little bit better, but if we're talking about someone he feels more like could be in an actual relationship with, it's Vivi. But like I said, I'd rather him just end up with nobody. That would genuinely be my preference. All right, we're going on to the next theory. I talked about this a little bit earlier. So, a lot of people think, including me, that we're setting up for Luffy versus Buggy eventually. And I'm going to tell you why. I've surprised you with gifts. Basically, it comes down to there's just been a lot of parallels with these two. A big one is just Buggy is the first devil fruit user that Luffy has to face, right? Their powers are kind of similar in the way that, this is why I put this gif here. The way that Buggy can chop himself and send his parts flying is really not all that dissimilar from Luffy being able to stretch. I think you can really see it really well in Impel Down. A lot of the times when they're navigating the prison together, they're accomplishing the same thing, but like with their separate powers. But it also feels like Buggy can do things even kind of reminiscent of the goofiness of Gear 5th. Not nearly at the power level of Gear 5th, but Buggy can do things like turn himself into a car, or make himself chibi, or post time skip, make himself into a giant using his big red onesie. So there's like this very cartoonish, like imaginative side of Buggy's fruit power that kind of reminds me of Luffy's as well. But as far as their like fighting skills, it's the complete opposite in the sense that Buggy is immune to slashing damage and Luffy is weak to it. But Luffy can take all the blunt damage in the world, and his blunt damage you're gonna want to do to injure Buggy. Oh my gosh, should we get another raid? Pee 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 pee. Welcome Pippa and Raiders, thank you so much for raiding. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Buggy's birthday. I'm sorry if you're not a One Piece fan. This is a One Piece stream. It's Buggy's birthday, so I've been going through some theories about Buggy the Clown. I talked about Buggy possibly being a D. I talked about Rocks D Buggy, Nefertari D Buggy, and right now I'm talking about how a lot of people theorize that one of the final fights will be Buggy versus Luffy. I'll be honest, having a literal clown be the straight man in a comedic duo is low-key funny. Genuinely though, I think that's something that's really nice about Buggy, is actually in a lot of his situations he plays the straight man. Especially to Buggy, but to Luffy, but also his own crew. Also to Alvida some. Like, he's more often than not, he's the straight man in the joke, which is genuinely funny considering he's the clown. He's the clown. If Buggy could fight any shonen character, who would you want him to fight? I want him to beat up Shanks. I don't even have to get creative here. Okay, but truly, actually, we're gonna talk about Crocodile and Mihawk a little bit later. Mr. Yura, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you. 2 dreams, being a pirate versus protecting her people. I do think that Vivi could have 2 dreams. I mean, obviously that seems realistic, but when we're talking about like in the context of One Piece, it's like everyone has their one dream, right? So I just feel like, yeah, in reality, people have more than one dream, but in the context of the story, like they've all kind of like picked a dream and that's what they want to do, you know? Find the all blue, be the world's greatest swordsman, draw a map of the world, build a ship for the future pirate king, like that kind of thing. Luffy doesn't have to. That's actually incorrect. This is easy to misunderstand. But Luffy's dream is not actually to be the pirate king. Luffy wants to be the pirate king so that he can accomplish his dream. He sees becoming the pirate king as his way of actually accomplishing his dream. So he has one dream, we just don't know what it is yet. It's still a mystery. Happy birthday to Buggy! What you thought would be a throwaway early game small fry was actually important to the lore, so important to the lore. Manga anime spoiler warning for Raiders. Yes, there was a warning at the very beginning of the stream, but yeah, I might spoil things. I'm making no effort to not spoil things. I definitely think it has something to do with being free, because he also says at one point that he wants, like, to him, Pirate King means being the most free person in the world. But what is it that he wants to do? What is his dream that he needs to be the freest person in the world to accomplish? We'll have to wait and see. Both Luffy and Buggy also have the connection to Shanks, but on opposite ends of it. So that's just another way that they kind of mirror each other. And then also we know that One Piece loves the enemies and friends dynamic. Like, they're enemies. Buggy almost killed Luffy. Buggy actually is one of the characters that's gotten the closest to killing Luffy. Like him and Kaido. But, they're also kind of buds. They got along in Impel Down. They were having fun, okay? They were chilling. So it's that friends and enemy thing. So, I do think, I don't know how much I believe in this theory. I'm not a die-hard believer that the final battle will be Buggy versus Luffy, like some people are. I do think that they'll eventually face each other in some way, shape, or form. But for me, it's really hard to predict what this final saga is gonna look like with all of these different players, especially considering like Buggy versus Shanks also feels so inevitable, but also so does Luffy versus Shanks, but also so does Luffy versus Blackbeard and Shanks versus Blackbeard. It's just all too connected with each other. It's really hard to see what would happen. I will say though, Cross Guild versus the Straw Hats would allow for our final world's greatest swordman deciding sword fight between Mihawk and Zoro. So it's possible. Luffy want to be Wizard King instead of fight. He wants to be the Wizard King. No. He wants to marry the nun that raised him as a kid. It's all very normal. All right, next theory. This is a fun one. Buggy's secret strength. I think people really like to joke about this. But as the manga has unfolded, the jokes have just become more serious and more serious. It's just kind of been a joke that Buggy's actually like the GOAT and is really strong and could kill like everybody. But just as things keep happening, it just becomes a little bit more plausible. Now, you guys already know, I think it's more likely that Buggy will stay a weak character and his successes will be not from pure strength, but from shenaniganry that he is so good at. But I did want to talk about some of the reasons that people see potential in Buggy to become a really powerful character by the end of it. Luffy's dream is just to go on an adventure. When he had the chance to get the compass for the One Piece, he didn't want it. The One Piece is just a reason to go out into the world. I don't think that that's his dream in the end, because I think it's going to be something a little more specific than that. And probably funnier than that. It's probably going to be more of a gag than that. Because it's the way that the characters react to it. You get this mixture of like, are you crazy? And laughter and absolute shock and horror. And nobody's reacting that way to someone saying, my real dream is to adventure the world. And I need freedom to do that so I can go everywhere I want. Nobody's having a reaction to that. So I think it's pretty safe to say that it's not going to be anything that simple or that digestible. It's going to be something a little more shocking. I think it's going to be more of a gag than that. But we'll have to see and find out. Luffy is going to be Hokage, just you wait. Yeah, Luffy's going to become Pirate King, and then he's going to bust out into every other shonen series and become the king of their worlds too. Luffy's daughter, Buffy, and Buggy's son will be rivals to lovers in the sequel manga Bone Beast. Stop writing, stop cooking. You're burning. You believe he wants to throw a feast for the entire world? I could see it being something like that. I think it could be like a worldwide party, a worldwide feast, wants to share sake with everybody in the entire world. I don't know, something like that. I think the sake I could see being really cool because he doesn't really drink in the series. So it could be like he only drinks in this way to like on serious occasions, because his dream is to like share sake with the whole world. It could be meat related. It absolutely could be meat related. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But let's get back to why people think that Buggy might have some hidden latent powers. I ran out of time to source this. So if anybody has the source, I cannot remember if this is from an SBS or an interview that Oda did. But somebody asked Oda, like, would Buggy have been strong, basically, if he had trained like Shanks? And Oda said yes. Oda confirmed that like if Buggy had been as dedicated and inspired and a little less insecure, he could have been as strong as Shanks. He did have that potential. So unless I just made that up, but was it in an SBS? I really feel like it happened, but I don't remember where it came from. No, I didn't make it up. I'm taking it back. I didn't make it up. I think this really happened. So we know that Buggy confirmed had the potential to be as strong as Shanks at some point. To bring it up again, he is one of the very few characters to actually get close to killing Luffy, and he's actually the only character that Luffy has accepted death towards. So you can see in the picture I have here, this is back during Logetown. When Buggy's about to kill Luffy, Luffy's like, guess I'm dead, oops, and you know, is about to die with his Will of D smile. He's really never accepted defeat like that to any other villain, like not even to Kaido, right? Even though Kaido did effectively kill him. So I think a lot of people see that as foreshadowing that like Buggy might be more of a threat near the end than we expect. But Buggy also does do like some pretty cool things. I think he stands out to me in Impel Down because you meet him in Impel Down, he's like, this place is so scary, it's horrible, you can't escape it. This level is like this, and this level is like that. And then he really doesn't struggle all that hard to navigate the levels. Obviously, not a single one of those people were getting out without the cooperation of everybody during the breakout. But Buggy has ways. He gets around the different obstacles using the chop fruit, right? I also do think it's notable. I know it's a joke and everyone jokes about it, but I do think it's cool that Buggy got chopped to pieces by Mihawk and it literally did nothing to him, even with a black blade. Even a black blade just does nothing. Like, he was just fine. He literally got like slashed to smithereens and there was nothing, right? I know it's a gag. Wow. But it's still canon, it still happened, right? It still means that he's capable of doing that. It is his power, but we don't know what the limits of that are. Like, can he actually chop down to his very atoms, you know? Is he able to chop that thinly on his own, of his own accord, or does it have to happen? Does someone have to slice him? I don't know if we're never going to get this information because Oda doesn't even think about it this hard, but we don't really know like the minutia of how it works. But I still think it's cool. I mean, his chop fruit just really genuinely gives him immunity against swords and any slashing damage. Like, you just can't. I honestly, besides like drowning him, I really don't know how you kill Buggy. Because even if you were hitting him with blunt damage, he can voluntarily split himself. So if he's taking like punches in the face and like thinks it's gonna be bad, like he can just like chop his face into very small pieces and like then you can't really punch them, right? He can survive explosions. We've seen him explode more than once. He can literally explode and then come back together. I genuinely don't know how you kill this guy besides drowning him. Yeah, I guess you would have, I guess if you, well, the thing is he can still, he still chops, right? So I guess if he chopped his head, no, it wouldn't, it would have to be another part of his body. So if you took his chest and then you took it far away enough from Buggy's head that Buggy couldn't control it anymore, you would basically have to do enough blunt damage to the chest to kill him. You still couldn't cut him up, because if you try to cut him up, then it's still not gonna work. Even if you put Sea Prism Stone on him, he's still a chop man. He's still gonna chop. He can chop his feet, yep. He can't fly his feet, but he can chop his feet. We've seen his feet chop plenty of times. Buggy soup. I'm just, it would be pretty hard to kill Buggy. You would really have to go into it with intentions to kill him. Despite the fact that he's extraordinarily weak. He just has a highly defensive devil fruit. It's interesting to me because Alvida also has a pretty broken defensive devil fruit. The two of them together would be really annoying to fight, but neither of them are particularly strong. Like, if they could level up, they would be so much more dangerous, especially together. Can you imagine trying to fight Alvida and Buggy together? It would truly be a nightmare. Comically large soup pot. But speaking of Mihawk, there's something that Buggy has that makes him even stronger. As Mihawk describes of Luffy during Marineford, he says that Luffy's true strength is his ability to make allies. And as we know, Buggy also has an uncanny ability to make allies. So in Mihawk's eyes, he also has that same trait that Luffy has to make him very strong. That's why I think Mihawk's gonna come around to Buggy. Both Mihawk and Crocodile both are gonna come around to Buggy. And that could definitely end up leading to a level up for Buggy. Because I've talked about this before, but I can definitely see something happening where it's like, they're like, okay, fine. We're going for the One Piece, you stupid idiot. You ruined our plans. Can't go back now. Fine. But we can't do it like this. And then it's like training arc. I think it works. I know I've said this before, but Mihawk is actually a really good person to train Buggy because Buggy is immune to Mihawk's attacks, which means Mihawk can just go full out and Buggy just will have to learn to adapt and try to fight him in that. Right? He doesn't have to hold back. It won't be like Mihawk fighting Zoro back at the Baratier. He can just go full force. He's not gonna kill Buggy. He can't kill Buggy. Not just with his sword. So yeah, I could totally see a training arc happening. Oh, there's the thing with his devil fruit. A lot of people think his devil fruit will eventually awaken, and that will give him the ability to chop other things, which would be broken. But as we've seen, Oda is willing to give people broken devil fruits. Anything is possible nowadays. Buggy splitting his atoms and just detonating. Exactly, and he is associated with bombs. That's another thing. Okay, also, people always, I mean, Buggy seems so stupid, but I would just like to point out a few things that I know Oda did not think about this hard, but he wrote it, and therefore it is canon, and therefore these are genuine pieces of evidence that Buggy's not that stupid, okay? Because Buggy was building bombs in prison. Buggy wasn't just building bombs in prison, he was inventing new bombs in prison. He invented the Muggy Ball in Impel Down. Like, he was just doing that. Also, Buggy came up with the idea for Buggy's delivery, which is actually a really cool idea. The delivery, if you guys don't remember, he was renting out his pirates. So he amasses this like huge crew and then he's like, I know what to do. And he just rents out pirates to other people for all kinds of different missions. That was actually really smart. I think that was a pretty impressive business move on Buggy's part. But I think that he's also smart in ways that are a little more subtle. Because I think he just has really good survival instincts. I put this picture of Crocodile holding him by the hair here. No, he made money, he just blew it on booze, man. I think he just blew it. Though, honestly, we never get total clarification on what happened. I also think it's possible that Buggy just didn't want to give it back. Because he was ready to run away, so he had something stashed. But it's probably more likely he just blew it. I think he just blew it on clothes and parties and alcohol and just ridiculous things. But it's at the very least a self-sustaining business. But this scene really cracks me up because Crocodile's got Buggy by the hair, right? And Buggy's like flying around. Oh, please don't kill me. No, don't kill me. I'm sorry. And he's like flying and he's like getting caught by his hair, right? Like he can't escape. Except Buggy can chop his hair. Like, Crocodile, you are not holding him. Crocodile, you are doing nothing. You are not, he is not restrained by you right now. You are not holding him back. He can chop his hair. We've seen him do it a million times. Wait, no. Not Buggy wanted it in that way. But I think basically it's just theatrics for the benefit of seeming small and weak and non-threatening to Crocodile. It's Buggy, and I don't think he's doing this consciously. I don't think this is him being like mad genius manipulator. I think this is just his pure survival instinct was like, oh, these guys are pissed as heck as me, and my best bet is to look so pathetic and so weak that it would literally be pointless to kill me. Because I'm just non-threatening to them. They can tell me to do whatever, and they don't need to kill me or do anything or sell me into slavery, which is that's probably what they would have done. I'm guessing, because I don't know how they kill this guy. Unless they drown him. But even then, like if Buggy really did not want to be restrained, I think he could escape, right? Not with anything, but I think he could have escaped. They would have to get sea stone on him somehow. We know that Crocodile has sea prism. Fear keeps him caged. I don't think it's necessarily fear. I think it was Buggy being like, how do I get the most out of this situation? But he just does it instinctively. Like, it's just his survival instincts. So in his brain, he's like, there's a few things going on. He doesn't want to lose his whole crew and his like happy little life on the island with all his booze and all the men who adore him. But he also doesn't want to get killed or sold into slavery by Crocodile and Mihawk, right? And he's scared of them. So he just, like, I keep saying it, but he just instinctively plays super weak and dumb. Oh, Crocodile, oh, you've got me by the hair. Oh, I can't escape here. Don't kill me. Because it got him exactly what he wanted, remember? Because then it's like, he was just chilling. They were beating him up though. But for a while there, he was pretty happy. They had a whole torture chamber. They did. I know it's a gag, but it did kind of upset me. I was like, don't do that to my man. Not the quote-unquote meeting room. Yeah, the Fujoshi had a field day with that too. Thanks, Oda. Thanks, Oda. Very appreciated. I go back and forth on liking the gag and feeling bad for Buggy. It's hard to see Buggy like really break down, but at the end of the day, I'm happy that he did because it led to an actual breakthrough in his character where he'd had enough. And now he's going for the One Piece and he reclaimed control over Cross Guild, which I think is sick. I think is awesome. Fujoshi's cooked with the art too. I was thinking about this the other day because it's like all of the best Buggy artists are Fujoshi. So like, you guys, if you ever like, I wonder sometimes if you guys might go to the profiles of the artists that I'm retweeting on the D-Ruse account. Because if you go to their pages, you're just gonna get hit in the face with literally every male character with Buggy. I'm just warning you. It's Shanks, it's Crocodile, it's Mihawk, it's all three of them sometimes. It's Galdino. All of them. You guys sold me on Crocodile and Buggy though. You guys sold me. It's your fault. I know not to, that literally happened to me. But all the, it's not just One Piece actually. It's pretty much anything. All the best artists are Fujoshis. Happy birthday, Buggy! Have you seen the Buggy arcade fight stick? Sorry if someone asked already. I have seen it and I do want it. I think I could be a god tier gamer with the Buggy arcade fight stick. We're not going to talk about the Croco Mom theory, only because this is a Buggy stream and also because I've explained it in detail more than once, so I won't make you guys sit through it again. What if it's awakened and is more like living poltergeist than Chop Chop? Living, I don't know what you mean by living poltergeist. I could tell from the art style of your retweets. You need to learn the lesson sometime. Listen. It's just the way the world works. I've accepted it for so long now. All fandoms are like this, all of them. Especially if you were into sports manga. I mean, that's just all you got. You wanted art of your favorite character? There's only one place to look. You want to hear the Croco Mom theory a third time? No, I won't do it right now, but maybe one day. Is this all I had to say about Buggy's secret strength? Oh, I forgot to say that Luffy and Buggy also became emperors at the same time. That's another way that they mirror each other.
Wow.
Yeah. I think these are the basics. Sir Crocodile, pirate legend, I have a question for you. Did you used to have a... You know what? That's your business. I'm not gonna pry. Alright, so those are basically, these are the theories. These are the theories I wanted to talk to you today. There's probably many, many more I could have brought up. But now, you get to look at cute pictures of Buggy. Oh no, I'm in the way! There you go. Look at him. Look at him eating octopus as a baby! I love his blonde hair. So good. Honestly, actually Stampede might be my favorite outfit of his. But I don't know if that's fair because it's not canon. Buggy's favorite outfit canon is definitely the Marineford. But his best look entirely is definitely blonde Buggy from Stampede. It's just so good. I think he should have been blonde. Yes, actually, this is his real nose. He was just born with a clown nose, man. It's just what he looks like. I like how often his nose runs. I think it's cute. He's so snotty. A lot of the One Piece characters are snotty, though. Oda likes drawing snot. I like it too, though. I think it's cute. Yeah, clown is in his DNA. We were robbed of a film red outfit. I'm telling you, he wasn't in film red because he's gonna be in film blue. One more Buggy theory for you guys. We're gonna get a film blue. I joke about it, but I actually really think it's happening. I really think it's happening. But Buggy is a really beloved character, not just by the author himself, but like just in the fandom. Like he's genuinely a very popular character.
Wow.
It's gonna happen. Film blue! And I'm gonna lose my mind. Blonde men look better with brown hair. Blonde Buggy, best Buggy. Well, we've never seen Buggy with brown hair, so I can't say. I'm not drunk. I haven't had that many cherry bombs. Yeah, other people adopt the clown world, but he was born in it, molded by it. I will actually lose my mind if Film Blue gets announced. If it's gonna get announced, it needs to wait for a little bit longer because I got too much stuff going on. We've got Rings of Power Season 2 coming up. We've got War of the Rohirrim coming up. New season of Bleach coming up. Fire Force coming back. The One Piece. I can't. They gotta settle down. When is the next season of Golden Kamui coming though? Because I want that. The One Piece remake! I know. One does not simply halt Film Blue. You know what? I'll take Film Blue whenever they'll give it to me. Oh, I forgot. They announced when the live action will come out too, didn't they? But I've already forgotten. To clarify a living poltergeist, it means possession. He possesses not only the parts of his body, but could do the same with inanimate objects. Oh, I see, I see. Oh, wait, okay, wait. This is kind of unrelated. I'm so sorry. Who was I talking about this with? Was it you guys? Was I talking to you? Who was I talking about where it's like, what if his power actually isn't like chopping himself? What if he's making portals? Did we talk about this, Runetics? Or was it with the gals? We did! Okay, it was with you guys. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I do like the idea that Buggy's power is actually like portal powers. So he's not actually like chopping. He's like moving his body through portals. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Do you also talk about all this with your coworker? Yes. Why do you think I bullied them into reading it? I literally bullied them. I was like, read it or watch it, whichever. And then they watched the whole thing, and then I was like, well, now you have to read it to be caught up. You have to. And now we talk about it. A lot. What's the price for them to drink Faze coffee? I actually have let my coworkers taste Faze coffee. They've had my coffee, and because I've brewed it at work a few times. I've brewed mine, Pico's, Saya's, and Dizzy's at the office for people to try. But you know, Rie's Coffee Salesman of the Month or whatever. This is fine. No, they don't know I stream for Faze. I didn't actually tell them where the coffee was from, I just made it. They don't know it's Faze coffee. I don't even want it anymore. I'm over it. I don't want it anymore. Sakana's awards mean nothing to me. It's pointless. It's trash. You know, somehow I really doubt that any of them would recognize it by taste. You made your coworkers watch One Piece? How powerful are you? I told you guys from the very beginning, one of my goals as a VTuber is to gain influence. That's really what I want. I do want these other things too. But my main goal is not money, is not necessarily fame or subscribers or numbers. What I want is influence. I want the power of influence. I want to be a person who can say, I like X thing. And then everybody who hears me goes, well, I guess I gotta get into X thing now. That's what I want. I'm trying, I'm getting closer and closer. This is my true evil plan. Power, wealth, fame. Yeah, Cross Guild, by the way. Cross Guild. Crocodile representing wealth, Mihawk representing power, and Buggy representing fame. And that's why Buggy will be the Pirate King.
Wow.
Sweats and just bought Strive Monday. I hope you at least are enjoying the game. Yeah? Oh, I forgot to sing the gifted membership song earlier. I'm sorry. I'll sing it now. Gifted memberships, whoo! Gifted memberships, hooray! Gifted memberships, hooray! Hooray! Gifted memberships, wow! Make sure you say thanks now. Gifted memberships today. Hooray! It's flashy! There is no wheel. There is no wheel. You guys, I feel so bad when people ask me this. I don't know Bink Sake. I don't know how it goes. This is the symptom of being a manga-only person. I've really only seen a few of the episodes here or there. So I haven't heard all the songs over and over again like other people have. So I don't actually know how... I don't know the openings. I don't know Bink Sake. I only know the manga. I'm sorry I didn't give you a birthday wheel. I'm so sorry. Am I a fake fan? I'll learn it. I'll learn it. The thing is I can't listen to Bink Sake without crying. This is why I can't learn it. I don't know how you psychos do it. If I listen to Bink Sake, I'm gonna think, one, about the lyrics, and two, about Brooke, and I'm gonna cry. I'm too soft of heart. I would have to listen to it I would have to listen to it over and over to learn it. That's the point, except I don't like crying. Manga is love, manga is life. Free of filler, hey. That's my jam. You know, it's really not even the filler so much that bothers me, it's really just the pacing. I think that a lot of anime just have pacing issues. It's getting better, just as the expectations and like structure of seasons has shifted in more modern times. But especially like the classics, they just had pacing issues. They're slow, they're so slow, and I can't stand it. It irks me. That's why I started reading manga in the first place, to be honest, because now I have complete control over the pace. So if I want to slow down and savor it, I can. Or if I'm like, this fight's kind of mid, I can speed read through it, you know? So that's why I usually will stick to the manga instead. But I do think that sometimes the pacing is done well. Golden Kamuy anime, I don't have any complaints about that one. I genuinely think they did a really good job with the pacing of that show. It feels nice to me. So it does happen, like sometimes it's fine. I think they will definitely fix that problem in the remake, because the manga really has good pacing. Like when I was reading it, I never got to a point really where I was like, oh, it's so slow. When is the next thing gonna happen? It never feels that way. It's like boom, 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 boom. Wano felt dragged to me, but I guess kind of in a different way. It just felt like there was too much going on. Not that like nothing was happening, it was just that like too many things were happening that I didn't care about. I really think the cast for Wano should have been like halved. Fishman Island was great. I had no problems with Fishman Island's pacing. The Ice Oni was dragged to heck in the anime. Well, that's why I've heard that Dressrosa is really bad in the anime. And that breaks my heart because the pacing for the manga, at least for me in Dressrosa, was like breakneck. I was speeding through that thing and it felt so crazy because everybody was spread out like they always were. But I guess I was really invested in everything that was happening. Like, I loved the stuff with the Tontaras. I loved hearing about Kyrios' story. I liked Luffy in the Colosseum and all the fights going on in the Colosseum. You've got everything going on with Law and Doflamingo. And it was just like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and Sabo showing up. Like, there was just so much going on. It was really exciting for me. And then I heard that it's like slow as heck in the anime, and that makes me not want to watch it. Like, I won't like that. The anime was catching up to the manga, so they reused and extended a lot of scenes. Yeah, definitely. I saw someone else say it earlier, but it definitely seems like for One Piece, it's a symptom of they needed to they were continuously airing it. They didn't give it breaks for things to catch up. I might check out One Piece, but now I just feel kind of like I'm just gonna watch the One Piece. Now, I will say I'm watching Egghead right now, and so far in Egghead, I've really liked the pacing. It's felt very on par with the... Not exactly. It's a little slower paced than the manga, in my opinion, but it's not that bad. I think they're doing a pretty decent job. But I'm also very Egghead biased because I just love everything that happens in Egghead. The animation is so good too. It's so beautiful. Man. The last episode with Garb just had me. Galaxy Impact, when it actually like the sky opened up and you could see like all the stars like behind me, I was like, what is happening? What is happening? It looked so cool. I loved all of all of Sword in that episode were really, really fun. The impact frames, they're going crazy with that. They have too much power, okay? These animators have too much power with the impact frames. They need to be stopped. I liked his hit song, Chop Chop Suey. Wake up, grab a brush and put a little clown makeup. Pay your scars to fade away, the Kronk shake up. Why, what has gotten into you guys? You guys are turning into clowns. You guys are turning into clowns in my supas right now. Manga is love. Manga is life. Oh, I already read that one, didn't I? Look who's talking. You always happen. I think I have one more slide. In summary, I love Buggy. Please tell him happy birthday. This is from the latest chapter, where Buggy was really cool. Buggy was so cool in that chapter. You know he's full of crap too, that just makes it better. He's rusing. He's rusing. Happy birthday.
Wow.
Buggy the Clown. Happy birthday! I can keep going till 11, why not? I'll keep streaming until 11. So tell me if you guys have any fun Buggy theories, or if you have any questions about I don't know, about Buggy. But let's try to keep it Buggy-centric, since it is his birthday and this is a Buggy stream. Oh, speaking of chopping his feet, you can see him chopping his feet in this page. And this is just another example of Buggy being like, this level of impel down, it's impossible. They've got all these knives on the floor. And then he's like, yeah, but I can just walk through it. Favorite Buggy ship? I don't know. I don't know. I do want Buggy to end up with someone. Like, if we get an epilogue, I'd like to see him have a pirate wife and little clown babies. It would make me happy. But I feel like that's just probably not gonna happen. Oh yeah, that's right. You guys turned me on a croc bug. Yeah, it's croc buggy now. Yeah, that's my ship now. It's croc buggy. I could see him and Alvita being cute actually too. I think I talked about this a little bit. I don't think he's an incel. He gives me more like I don't give a single crap vibes than anything. I just, in all reality, before I could see him being an incel, I could just see him being completely disinterested. But he definitely does have Riz. You know he could get it. The reason, I mean, that's a big reason that I say that. Like, you know he could get it. Blackbeard's getting it. Ooh, Rouge is getting it. You know Buggy could. I guess he just doesn't care to. He's just not interested. He's saving himself for marriage. I could see him being cute like that, though. You know what I mean? Don't make me say it. You know what I mean? Don't make me say it. He's pure-hearted. You think gals are down with the clown? We've seen a gal down with the clown. We've seen her. In the last chapter, we finally see a female, crewmate.
Wow.
I loved Mini Buggy and his misadventures. Yes! Buggy was the first cover story. And I still think that Oda is a mad genius for the cover stories. It's just such a great way to keep in touch with characters that are going to be relevant down the line without having to waste the actual time in manga. You know? Like, it's so cool. It was just such a good idea. And every time we get a new cover story, I get so hype. Yes, like Wapol. So that when Wapol pops back and he's like, oh yeah, I'm rich now and I married like the beauty pageant queen of the world, you're not like, when did that happen? We don't have to waste time explaining how that happened. We know how that happened. We saw it in the cover story. The Wapol medal. Man, I can't believe I like Wapol now. Screw Oda for that. I can't believe Oda made me like Wapol. But he saved Vivi and now I feel kind of endeared to him. I felt bad for his wife. She was like, oh, he's cheating on me. No, he's not, sweetie. He's not. Yeah, he can eat everything. Ineru's cover story is also really good, where he goes to the moon. So many theories come from that. Wait a minute, we're supposed to be Buggy-centric. I can't start on Enel theories. Who do you hate more, Saint Saturn or Wapol? Definitely Saturn. I don't even really hate Wapol anymore. I came around. I think the reason that it's easy to reform villains in One Piece is because there is like an overall like non-seriousness to some of the violence. You know what I mean? Like when people do really heinous things, it's like, yeah, that's bad and it's treated seriously. But when they do like kind of goofy heinous things, I don't know, everyone just kind of gets over it. Like nobody takes it that seriously. But I like that. I find it fun. It's just mischief, man. It's just piracy. You know? I mean, you even see it in the Straw Hats. I mean, Luffy is like, oh, hey, Robin. You were in on a plan that would have killed thousands of innocent people. But I'm chill. That was then. Now is now. It's cool. Oh yeah, Frankie. Your crew literally beat Usopp half to death. And you didn't even feel bad about it. You didn't even apologize. But it's cool. I'm over it. I like that. I like that kind of nonchalance though. That not everything is so serious. Yeah, he also, yeah, that's a good point. Luffy let a ton of probably violent criminals. You know, some of the people who broke out of Impel Down were like murderers. But Luffy, that's not Luffy's business. He don't care. But it's as Luffy said, he never wanted to be a hero. So, yeah, like, you can't really expect that from him. Frankie and Usopp end up bonding, talking about the Mary. And talking about the spirit. I forget what they call them, but basically the spirit that Usopp saw in Skypiea. Oh, Cloud Bowderman. Yeah. I've always thought that... I know I've talked about this forever ago. I'm sorry to bring it up again. But at least I think I did. I've always felt like a big difference between Roger and Luffy is that Roger always gave me more of an impression like he actually cared about making an effect on the world. You know, he shows up to Rayleigh and is like, let's turn the world upside down. He definitely seems to have more of an investment in the future. It does seem like he's been setting up the Roger Pirates crew and all of this stuff to try and make something happen even past his death. That's why he had Ace. Like, I feel like Roger really was more of a hero, whereas Luffy isn't a hero and doesn't want to be. And I think that that's really, especially in the endgame, gonna play a big difference. I mean, that's the difference between like Roger, who would tell Shanks, oh, you can't be Pirate King. It's gonna have to be somebody else, probably my son. And then someone like Luffy, who would never tell someone else that. He just wouldn't do that. If you were in his way, he might break your dream. But he's not gonna tell you not to have it, right? Even if it's for the better of the world. It's just not who he is. And I think really at the end of the day, it's gonna be that kind of like rejection of fate that will make the difference between Luffy actually being capable of saving everything. Ironically.
Brunetics?
Luffy wants to be Pirate King of the villains. I don't know about that so much. Runie, when attending an anime convention, every lady cosplaying as Buggy had a powerful girl failure. Oh, okay, wait. Okay, hold on. Runie, when attending an anime convention, every lady cosplaying as Buggy had a powerful girl failure aura. I don't know how they all do it. It really adds to the costume. Can you explain this? It's the power of the clown, man. It's really hard to not have girl or guy failure energy when you're wearing a clown outfit. It just is what it is. What's the evilest thing Buggy has done? Well, I mean, he did ransack Orangetown. That was pretty evil of him. That was pretty mean. That wasn't cool, Buggy. I think that was worse than the Impel Down prison break, genuinely. Yeah, Shushu. Though it's not his fault that Shushu's owner died, but it is his crew's fault that Shushu was getting beat up trying to protect his owner's shop. He's definitely, as a lot of earlier characters are, he's a victim of, you know, the tone of the very start before Oda really had his full vision, right? Buggy got his body parts back. Basically, so his head and his hands and his feet got launched away, but the rest of his body remained with the crew, so they were able to take his body parts with them. But Buggy can't control them because his head's too far away. Then they basically just were like, I guess Buggy's dead now, and they like threw him a funeral. But Buggy was able to eventually make it back to them with the help of Alvida, who was hunting him down because she also had a bone to pick with Luffy. I guess she must have just heard about, you know, Buggy and Luffy also fighting and was like, well, now I'm going to team up with Buggy. So that's how you get the Buggy and Alvida alliance. Anyways, that's how he got his body back. Buggy's not the Vegeta of One Piece, please. Wonder how he peed. Oh, I've thought about that a little bit too, because he can eat. This is very interesting to me. He can eat while he's chopped up, because we see his head just like eating, right? So even though his body was too far away for him to control, somehow his food, yeah, it's like a portal. Somehow his food was like going down his throat and then into his body, like all that way away. It's very interesting. You see the same thing happen in the live action, where they feed him an apple, I think it is, while they have his head, the Straw Hats, but Arlong has the rest of his body. So somehow it's just, I don't know, just fruit magic, I guess. So even though he can't control his chopped pieces, they're still connected to each other through the organs. But this has made me think like things like, so let's say he swallowed a sword. Like he's in the middle of swallowing a sword. Wow. And then let's say you chop him. I guess it chops the sword? But then could he still pull the sword out? Like if he was holding it in his mouth and then he chopped his torso in half, would he then be able to pull the sword out? Or would he have to reconnect to be able to pull the sword out? I think about this not infrequently. I also think a lot about his clothes and how they work, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me how he does the jumpsuit. Because as like you can see in these examples, when he chops, his clothes chop with him. So there's like some aspect of being dressed that does, and like we say that he can't chop other objects, but he actually does chop other objects all the time. He chops his clothes. So his clothes are affected by his power. So there must be some sort of rule for when something counts as him wearing it and when something doesn't. What's very interesting to me is his coat does chop, right? But he doesn't properly wear his coat. His coat just hangs off his shoulders, but it does chop with him, right? So it's not even like it has to be in direct contact with his skin, because his coat is on top of his shirt. It's not on top of his skin. But this really makes me confused about his big red jumpsuit, because he's chopped up inside the jumpsuit. But if he were to put on the jumpsuit and then chop himself up, the jumpsuit should also chop. So does he have control over when his clothes chop and when they don't? Or does he have to chop his body up before he gets into the jumpsuit? Yeah, I think it must be that he's separated before he gets into the jumpsuit. It's like how he talks and breathes without lungs. Yeah, because he's still connected to his lungs. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. My smile gets bigger with every... Am I going crazy over here? Most fruit powers affect clothes stretch too. Yeah, Buggy's definitely not the only one that gives me questions about clothing. I just happen to think about Buggy's clothes the most. Yeah, all the Logias, yeah, their clothes also get affected. But it's like, dang, like what counts as being worn and what doesn't? I need to know. We will never know, because Oda doesn't think about it that hard. Yeah, I accept the magic. Looney Tunes physics. And we love it. And we love it. I don't know. I'm glad that they keep his clothes on. I don't want to see all these characters naked running around. No, thank you. You do see Buggy's butt and Impel Down, though. Which is also very interesting because he does not have underwear on. So I think that they just did not give the prisoners underwear in Impel Down. And that is actually evil. Magellan. That's gotta be so uncomfortable. Give these people underwear. Yeah, it's inhumane. How dare you, Magellan? But that was when he was in charge. Robin can choose now whether her flower fruit is clothed or not. They used to always be naked, but now she can put clothes on them. Yeah, 20 plus hours a day on the toilet. He is working. He's working. He's working on the toilet. All right, it's past 11, so I am gonna wrap this up. He's fighting for his life. If you had to pick a different fruit for Buggy, what would it be? Oh my god. I just think Kid Buggy is the cutest thing I've ever seen in the world. Kid Buggy really did me in. I think I've told you guys this before, but when I first started reading, I was like, yeah, Buggy's funny. He's cool, but like, not my favorite character. And then I got to Impel Down, and I was like, okay, he's super funny. I really like Buggy. He might be one of my favorite characters. Then when we moved into Marineford, that was when I had the realization that even when he got the stupid pigtails again, I was like, oh no. I still love this goofy man. I still love him. That's when I knew it was over for me. But I feel like I was still normal about it. Like, it was just like, he's my favorite character. I was like normal. Really until you get to the Roger pirate flashbacks. Because Kid Buggy is just so insanely cute to me. Cutest kid I've ever seen. He's so cute. And then it really was it was over for me. Nothing is normal about Buggy. Well, good. Because I don't have normal feelings. Baby Orc in shambles. I'm sorry, but Baby Buggy is cuter. Did you guys not see this? Bruh. Look at him! Look at him! Insanity levels. There's a panel when they meet Tom the shipwright, and he's like hugging Tom, like crawling all over him. Stop. It's too cute. Him looking through those freaking, what do you call them? Magnifying bionicles, whatever they are. Binoculars. Why was he being so serious? Stop me, you're a baby. Isn't it precious? It's so cute. It's so cute. It's just so ridiculously cute. And I really need Oda to draw him as a baby. We got Shanks as a baby. Cute little baby. I want to see Buggy as a baby. Gives me aggression. Cute aggression. I need Buggy Usopp team up conquering the world. You know, Usopp was my favorite character before Buggy became my favorite character. Though Robin was really close. It was like Robin, Usopp. Then Buggy came along and swept. Runie D. Ruse, PhD in Buggyology. My dorktorate. I wish. There's so many people out there who are bigger fans than me. I feel like I can't compete. Especially with the people who've been fans of One Piece for so much longer than me. Alright, I really do have to wrap up stream now. Thank you guys so much for indulging me and letting me ramble on and on about Buggy the Clown for his birthday. I hope, even if you don't really know much about One Piece or care much about One Piece, I hope it was still fun. And if you do care about One Piece, I hope you had fun diving into the different Buggy theories. And I hope we can continue watching and reading together to figure out. You know, maybe we can look back on this stream and be like, oh ho 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 ho. The Runie saw it coming. King of Pirates! I always really enjoy getting to just kind of nerd out with you guys. So thank you for making this possible. I will be streaming again on Saturday. We are going to be playing Guilty Gear Strive. It's my first time really playing a fighting game. Not really, because I did play a little bit of the Grand Blue one. But I've only played it once. So I'm very, very new to fighting games. It'll be my first time playing Guilty Gear. I'm really excited. So I think that will be super fun. That's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Pacific. So I hope to see you guys then. But for now, It's bittersweet! It's bittersweet. But I must say farewell! Give glory to your future pirate king, Buggy the Clown! Wow. For... Wait, oh gosh, wait. Because... Hold on, this is so important right now. Wait. Where do you think you're going? For... He'll always have your back. From the mouth of the clown himself. Bye bye!